Hey, what's up? What's good? Episode 12. I got my man Michael Jenkins, assistant coach from Queens. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm saying this right, Mike. Make sure I'm saying this right. And let me give some people some time to get on. Hey, so listen, if you're watching this live on Facebook or YouTube, you can comment and you'll be able to ask me and Mike questions. But um, nonetheless, I'm excited about having Mike on. I do player development and I'm teaching guys, you know, obviously how to work on their skill, but also, a lot of guys that are around me have goals of playing college basketball. So if you're watching this, whether you're a parent or a player, feel free to comment. So I'm going to bring Mike on. Mike, what's good, my brother?
What's happening?
How
What's
you
happening,
doing?
Lou? I'm good, man. How about yourself?
And Mike just corrected me. Mike said he's director of basketball operations, but we'll get into that and on the details as we move forward. So I got Michael Jenkins, man. So how are you feeling, Mike? What I know you told me you had a day out at the water park with the fam. How was that?
Man, it was fun, man. I got my son turns 2 next month, and my daughter, she's 3, she'll be 4 on Christmas Eve. So the
Right.
toddler life, man, just letting them get a little bit of sun, run around. We went from the splash park to the real park,
Uh,
and got them on the swings and all that good stuff, man. Let the sun beat them up a little bit. Then they took a nice little nap. So it was
I
a good
like that.
day.
I like that. I like that, man. Fam day. So, hey, as we get into this thing, man, I like to ask. Now, if you go look at my page, I've been interviewing, people in the NFT community. We started out obviously with sports, and I've tried to expand the horizons of the show, to be able to, cover things that I'm in. I'm tapped into the crypto community, Avalanche, and just learning about cryptocurrency in general. We see some athletes that are getting paid in crypto now. It's becoming a part of our society. So I've kind of thrown myself in the community of Avalanche in the crypto space is has been very kind. It's probably one of the best communities that I've been a part of as far as with people sharing advice and things like that, man. But before we get into all of the basketball talk, I like to ask my guests, questions about sports. So Mike, what are your favorite professional sports teams, and what's your all-time favorite athlete?
Well, growing up, I was always a big Miami football fan. To you, Santana Moss was like one of my first guys. Was one of my favorite players, and then it just grew from there.
Right.
And I was heavy on them, man, real heavy on the U. Uh, Obviously, growing up in ACC country, being from Kinston, I grew up a Tar Heel fan.
Okay.
Watching Jerry Stackhouse from Kinston, so watching him and
He's from
Jeff
your hometown?
McGinnis, yeah,
Oh,
and
okay.
Jeff McGinnis, yeah, we a little hotbed for hoops, so
Right,
a
right.
small town but hotbed for hoops. So
Uh-huh.
I grew up watching Carolina, but other than that, man, I'm really not a big favorite team guy. I
Uh-huh.
just enjoy watching the good games, and I have favorite players, so like
Oh,
I'm
okay.
more on the player end of it.
Got you.
You know,
Okay.
my yeah.
That makes
So my
sense.
favorite all time athlete, obviously Jordan, was my favorite basketball player of all time. But my favorite all time athlete is between him and Deion Sanders. Like,
Right. Prime time.
like, yeah, Prime was my guy, especially because baseball is my first sport. So seeing him
Right.
play baseball and do what he did on the football field uh, was amazing. So those two, I'm gonna go with those two, and not just pick one.
Okay. Fair enough. So I know who's number one on this question.
Oh
How
yeah,
do you rank these three? Jordan, Kobe, LeBron.
ah,
1 through 3.
Jordan. Hey, Jordan. The others
Uh-huh.
don't really matter.
Right.
Nah, I'm just playing. Nah,
Fair
I'll
enough.
go
I can
Jordan.
deal with that. I can deal with
Nah,
that.
if I had to rank all three, I would go Jordan. Uh, I personally, I love LeBron's game,
Uh-huh.
but I love Kobe's game, but I love Jordan and Kobe's mentality more.
Mm.
So
Mm.
like, Jordan's one and is can't be touched in my opinion.
Mm.
I gotta make sure I reiterate that my opinion, for
Absolutely. That's
those
what,
watching,
that's what it's for. For
for
sure.
those watching, and then just from ah, I love Kobe mentality, but I would put LeBron next and then Kobe.
Fair enough.
Just
I mean,
because, yeah, just
so,
because LeBron's still doing what he's doing is
yeah, yeah. So what I was gonna say with LeBron is gonna be the most accomplished athlete. However we look at it, he's gonna be the
yeah,
guy that, you know, when we look back and look at his stats and look at, the highlights and his his greatness, he'll be the most accomplished athlete, from a point standpoint, assist, and just, he's a great player, and he still
yeah,
has probably another, strange enough, 2 to 3 years of great high level basketball. This year he's a top 3 player in the league, top 5 player, depending on who you're
yeah,
talking to. Shoot, maybe number 1, depending on how much they love LeBron in his game. But
yeah,
um, I think that's a fair statement. Now, for me, I was high on, I was a Kobe guy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Footwork, like you say, the mindset, the kind of the persona
yeah,
that you need, that little bit of arrogance that you need. He displayed it a little bit more than some people may have liked, but like you said, that mindset, and then when you obviously you played in the NBA, hearing the stories and understanding the work ethic, it's Kobe, man. I do it
yeah,
1A Jordan for sure,
yeah,
1B Kobe, and then LeBron at that second. That's kind of how I rate it. But Jordan for sure is a number one, just
yeah.
because of his ability to get it done, man. Top 5 NBA players of all time, or just just your top 5 players, because it's hard to go all time.
Yeah,
We get
yeah.
too
I
technical.
can't. It's hard.
Give me
Yeah, it's
just your
hard for
top
me to
5
go with
favorite
people
niggas.
I ain't seen. Yeah, it's
Right,
hard for me to
right.
go with people I haven't seen. So who I grew up on, obviously, Jordan's gonna be, number one. Uh, this is I used to love. I used to love watching AI play.
Oh, okay.
Like
Jordan AI.
my list is gonna be a little different
Right.
because this is off of pure off of my pure enjoyment, of watching them play, not just based off of what they did, or it's just who I'm tuning in when
For
they're on
sure.
TV. I gotta watch them. Like
Absolutely.
uh, Mike, uh, more young LeBron than now.
Uh-huh.
Uh, AI Steph and ooh. Ooh, that this fifth one.
So spot.
You go,
So spot.
you go with so many people, man. Uh, woo, I'm gonna go with. Let me think about when we were in like, middle
Like, wow,
school,
yeah. Because you got Grant Hill,
middle
man.
school,
You
high
got
school.
Grant Hill, you
Yeah,
got
man. Like,
Brady.
golly,
It's a lot of
golly.
guys. Because that 90s era was tough, It was tough.
It was OD, man. It was OD. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna just go with honestly, like, cause I used to like watching him when he was with the Bucks, man. Ray Allen,
Oh, okay.
when he's with Seattle, yeah, Seattle with the Bucks, like, cause I was pretty much a two, you know what I'm
Right,
saying,
right.
and I turned it to a combo as I, you know, got older and my handle got better, but I was a natural two guard, so
Right.
seeing Ray Allen do what he was able to do, because people just see the shooter Ray Allen in the
Yeah,
social
yeah.
media era, but they didn't know Ray Allen was dunking, like getting
Duncan,
to the
yeah.
cup, like
They can
that
play.
little handle to
Hey,
him.
Jesus Shuttleworth, right?
Yes, yeah, you know what I'm
You know what
saying.
I'm
So
saying?
like
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite the watch lists. Like
right. Okay, so what inspired basketball for you, Mike? I didn't type that question down, but now you're a coach now, and we're gonna get into your journey, as a professional athlete. But what inspired you to, like, pick basketball? I'm from a small town in South Georgia called Cordele, Georgia. Football is very heavy, here. That's our lead sport. So, you know, a lot of kids that's going to be their go-to sport here. But for me, basketball just, you know, I played all three sports growing up, but basketball was my passion. For you, did you tap into other sports, and what led you to kind of focusing in on basketball?
Oh yeah, so baseball was my first sport.
Wow.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, baseball. I was a natural at baseball. Um, I played basketball in my yard. Like I lived in before I moved to Kinston. I lived in a town called Moncks Corner
Mm-hmm.
here in South Carolina. I was born in Charleston,
Right.
and all of my family's in the Low Country in a town called Moncks Corner. And my
Uh-huh.
uncle played football and basketball at Virginia Tech.
Oh,
And
okay.
my grandma was huge on sports. Like my family's pretty. My mom's side of my family is pretty sports, you know, sports driven, sports oriented, however you want to call it. And
Mm-hmm.
had multiple, you know, uncles and aunts play softball and basketball in college or whatever. So, but my uncle was the top of the line, and I had cousins that played in the NFL as well.
Right.
Um, you might know them. They were two live stews. They played one. Played Ryan Stewart played at Georgia Tech, and
Okay.
then went to play for the Lions. Yeah,
Right.
but before I go off on a tangent, but yeah, so I used to sit and watch baseball all day long
Wow.
with my grandma, but then I would sit and watch basketball all day long too because that was the real NBA on NBC days.
Right.
So, my grandma was sitting there watching. Then I was just always naturally just drawn to activity in sports.
Mm-hmm.
Like it didn't really matter like what I was doing. It was just if I could be active, be outside, and do something with a basketball, not a basketball, with a ball,
Mm-hmm.
uh, of any kind. You know what I'm saying? Then I was enjoying myself. So naturally, with my uncle playing basketball, we had a basketball goal in the yard. I'd play, on the dirt court or whatever. But baseball was it for me. And
Right.
then when I moved to North Carolina, uh, it was and I'll backtrack. Football was big too, but I wasn't old enough yet to play. I didn't play pads yet because you
Right.
could play pads young in South Carolina, but I didn't play pads. And then when I moved to Kinston, I started playing. Obviously, my demographic of friends changed.
Right. 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 Right.
You know what I'm saying. So it was like
For
I
sure.
still was really into baseball, but the school I was going to and everything, because Kinston's like at the time I was there was about like 67% black. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying. So
Right.
the my friends was more into basketball and football, but I still got my baseball itch. But and I just the more I was around them, the more it just started gravitating. I was already interested in it, but and then baseball began to get too slow for me,
Right.
and I just started playing travel ball more and more and more, and it just took over. You know what I'm saying? And I played football until my
Uh-huh.
junior year of high school.
Right.
Baseball I stopped playing in ninth grade. Junior year of high school. After my junior year of high school, I stopped playing football, and I just focused on basketball my senior year. And the rest
Right.
is history.
Oh, okay. That's what's up, man. So before we get into this video, uh, let's try this. Let's try to take a look at it without any interruptions. We were having some technical difficulties before this. Hey, and listen, look, if you're watching this live on Facebook or YouTube, you can comment and ask us some questions about, basketball, college recruitment. I have a few more questions I'm going to ask Coach, but if you want to comment, whether you're a parent or a player, and you want to, ask us some questions, I'll get it up here on the screen. We'll try to get an answer for you. So let's take a look at this clip of Mike getting buckets. And Mike, you say this is right here in Greece, right?
Yeah, this is my 20. I just turned 30. This
2016 is
was
there.
2016, 2017 season.
Okay, and Mike had 22. Let me look at that again. Wait. Mike had 22 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists. Mike, you dropping that thing off like, hey man, let's
Yeah, I
go.
should have had a double. I'm sure somebody missed the open three
Man,
or
you know what it
layup.
is now. When I have 9 rebounds or 9 assists, I always go to the stat sheet and stat guy. I'm like, man, come on, bro. You couldn't run something out for me. Come on, man. I had a triple
Yeah,
double twice, and I was short one assist or one rebound.
man,
Let's
I'm
take a look,
telling you,
man. Here we
dog.
go. Mike up top with it. Pass and cut, moving without the basketball, pace. Dime. That's one of those 9 assists, man. So, Mike, what was the style of play here?
Oh, just real tactical. This is my first year in Greece, and Greek style basketball. Greek coaches, they're real tactical, low scoring games,
Right.
playing, drawing fouls. Playing smart. You can get up and down, obviously, because they want you to use your skills, but
Right.
for the most part, you really have it tests your cerebral and your IQ to really, learn how to play. And as Americans and imports, they want you to take over when the time is right. But before then, it's like make sure you're making the right play at the right times. You understand the shot clock and the scoreboard and how many fouls before the bonus, and you're able to make all your pick and roll reads. So this is a real tactical team.
Right. And here you played more one than anything, right? Midi.
What? Yeah. Well, honestly, I was just coach trusted me to be a 2-1, be a combo.
Oh, okay.
So whenever I got the ball, obviously I'd push the break if I felt the need to. But if I know we needed to run a specific set where I need to be in a specific place, I'd give it up to the point guard. But if it was just getting rebounds, getting in motion, or he trusted my ability to make plays.
So let's look at this Iverson cut. So this is a design play. I'm assuming Iverson cut. If you have an option right here, you can go get a bucket. But if you don't, okay, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, so I come off Iverson here, and then obviously you see the 4-man. He's going to read his guy. If his guy comes up top, like shows a little too much, he's going to slip it. Me right now, I read to see if I can beat him opposite. I'm making all these decisions really quick. Like it seems like I'm moving, like I moved before anything happened, but I already just noticed if I can beat him opposite, or I see how much space I have on the empty side. So I know that I'm going to be able to create an advantage, for my guy, hopefully create an advantage for my guy to get, free on a slip or on this pop off after the pick. If I don't use this right here, I would normally kick it back to the point guard, and you'll see the 5-man ready
for a pick and roll.
For another pick up there in the slot area if I decide to pass it back.
Now let me ask you this: as you're coming off, that he's the point guard supposed to stay that close, or should he fan out?
He should be shifted. Yeah, he should be shifting away. He should be moving away to create more space, because the timing of it's going to be, if I don't have anything, kick it to him, or he can come a little higher, and then the 5 will come. But I created the switch, and now I see there's going to be a mismatch with the 4 on the guy that was guarding me. So I stopped my dribble to read the mismatch.
Fair enough. Get a couple more clips. Pushing it in transition. Nobody stops you. Done. Draw the defender. Man, those stickers are terrible in Europe.
They're undefeated. Undefeated, bro.
Iverson cut again. Oh, read it.
I read my man. Yep. Beat him opposite.
Nice. Get downhill. And that's 2 dribbles. He called it. Didn't have anything. 2 dribbles.
And that's the same exact play that you saw before. It's just from from out of bounds set versus in live, in live play set.
Gotcha.
It's the same exact thing, just from a different area.
Pick and roll. Good pass. Damn. Read and react. Read and react. That's all basketball is, man.
It is. And once the game slows down for you, and you know how to create angles, and you start to see things before they happen a little bit, the sky's pretty much the limit, as long as you have the skill to get the pass there. Because some people can see things, but they just can't make the pass.
Right. So here's basketball, guys. If you're a young man or whatever, let's say you're a parent, because some parents don't understand. He caught the ball here in transition. So this is I'm assuming this is a transition play. We got a high pick and roll. Let's see what he does after the pick and roll. Hesitate. We got a switch, it looks like. So we can go inside, or Mike can do this. Attack that defender and make a play. Did that guy push you down? Ooh, good pass, Mike. Ooh, that's crazy. Ooh, I love this game.
And so this goes back to me about saying how tactical our coach was. He was
Right.
real big on playing the mismatch. And, a lot of times guards, especially in this our guard driven era right now, and I'm
Right.
going through this with our team now, they think the
Uh-huh.
only attack of a mismatch is guard on big
Right. Right. Right.
instead of, taking advantage of the small guy being on your on your 4 or 5 or even a 3 if you have a
Uh-huh.
bully 3, you know, and and giving the ball up to the person in the paint to have them to, kind of attack that mismatch instead of trying to attack off the dribble and get your handles off. So that's what happened on that last play. I created the switch. I knew he went down there for the mismatch, but I also knew it was crowded in the paint. So I was like, well, let me try to drive it. And I knew they were going to collapse on me. And I knew how athletic my 5 was. And once I saw his guy start to take a step towards him, that's when I threw the lob.
Oh, it's interesting. are back in the building. We back. We back. We back. Let me. I gotta send Mike the link again. Man, I appreciate it. I had a few people sitting in here too. Y'all comment. Somebody say something. Somebody say something in the comments for me. I know if you comment on YouTube, they'll show up. Somebody comment and say something. Let me see it pop up while I wait on Mike to get back in here. And if you're an athlete, or if you got a child that's looking to get recruited, we're about to get into the fun questions. What y'all got going on this fine Saturday evening? Let me see. Let me tell Mike. Yo, Mike, try to click that link and see if it'll let you get back in. But I'm about to send you another link now. Let me see. Do we got any comments? Nobody ain't comment yet. Y'all scared? Let me see. Okay, I lied. So you actually need to go to my YouTube page to comment. They're not allowing me to receive comments from Facebook. So if you want to comment and ask questions, then and you want me to be able to see it, go to my YouTube page. It's The Creative Athlete, just like it's spelled at this top bar. Mike, I'm sending a link right now, man. Let me see. So we can finish it up. I don't want to keep y'all too long. Let me see. Go to my YouTube, which is The Creative Athlete. You should be able to type that in. Go to my YouTube, man. It won't take you out that long. Mike, I got that link coming right now, man. So if you're commenting on my Facebook, I can't see it. But if you go to my YouTube, I'll be able to see what you're asking me. Okay, here we go. All right, there it is, Mike. We should have Mike back in here shortly. Like I said, once again, go to my YouTube. Wait, let me go on my Facebook and see. Let me go on my phone and see if anybody said anything. I see Cap shared it. My man Alan Whitehead. What's up? What's up, Alan? Middle Georgia ballers. Here shortly. Like I said, once again, go. Okay, I got some questions, man. Okay, I got some questions. I appreciate that, man. How often should my 8-year-old son be training, and what skill set would you say he needs to focus on more at his current age? We're gonna get that answer for you, my guy. We just waiting on Mike to get back in here. Zafavius Cotton. Let me see who that is. I appreciate you actually asking the question, man. Oh, there go my boy Mike back in here. Mike, what's up, man?
What's happening?
So if you just logging in now, man, we had a question. So we had somebody ask about I'll get to it here shortly, but so if they comment on, if anybody's watching this here again, go to my YouTube, The Creative Athlete. And you can watch this live. If you comment, I can put your question on the screen. We'll get an answer. So let's get back into it, Mike. We was watching Mike get buckets, man, and then my internet died on me. But hey, the show must go on, Mike. So
Most definitely.
Mike, we talked about, we were just showing your highlights out in Greece. Yeah, you guys are playing a team from Germany, right?
Yeah, we were playing Frankfurt.
So that was a Euro Cup game.
Champions League.
Champions League. Okay.
Yeah.
So out of how many years professionally did you play?
12.
12 years, man. Whoa, Mike getting it in. So come and Khalid. Oh, wait, and I have a backstory. Okay, I went to Georgia Tech, right? Georgia Tech's ACC big school. We played Mike out in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
Rick got rest in peace to my guy Dre. I played travel ball with Dre.
Yep.
Man, the tenacity. It was a close game, but they beat us, man. They beat us straight up. Mike played amazing. What'd you have that game, Mike? You shot the ball
20.
incredible. Had
20.
20,
Yeah.
and it was played at a very high level. And that was when I really kind of first met you. Amo was telling me about you. Yes, my boy
Yeah.
Mike. Da, da, da,
Yeah.
shout out to my brother Amo, man. But yeah, man, that goes to show you, college basketball is college basketball, you know. And when you play, if you get an opportunity to play D2, D1, high level D1, or whatever whatever your mind is programmed to think, you got to be prepared and you got to be skilled. And that was a perfect example. You guys whooped us up down in the Virgin Islands, and then I think the next day we went on to beat Notre Dame. Y'all won a championship? Did y'all win? Did y'all
Oh
win that
yeah,
championship?
we had we won our. Oh, you talk about the Paradise Jam? No, we
Yeah.
lost to Baylor. We lost to Baylor by 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
with Curtis Geralds
Curtis
and them
Gerald,
boys.
shout out to Curtis Gerald, man. I got to get
Yeah.
Curtis on the show. I played with Curtis out in the G League.
Oh, for real? Yeah, we used
Yeah,
to have
yeah.
battles in Italy. Yeah, we used to be out when he played for Milan. Like
Uh-huh.
I was playing for Cantu and stuff. Yeah, man. I used to see
Right,
him out
for
all the
sure.
time. It's
Let me
funny, man,
see.
because the first time I ever saw you was when we was at Nationals in Florida, and
Really?
you and Dre was
Oh,
Smyrna
Smyrna Star.
Stars.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, y'all were playing against Tyrese Rice, and Dre and Tyrese were going at it. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I remember watching that game because we either played next or
Uh-huh.
the game after the next one. And I was just like, I didn't know my paths would cross. I would cross paths with either of y'all, even Tyrese. Like I ended up seeing him at like I know him now, but I ended up seeing him like a year later because
Right.
he worked Prep Stars camp that was at Winthrop, and he was
Uh-huh.
working it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't know Dre be my teammate. Didn't know we would end up playing against each other. It's just crazy how and AAU wasn't what it was now.
Right.
know.
It's a
So
whole different ball game. Hey, look, I'm gonna post a link under this clip, guys. So if y'all go click under that link that I just posted, uh, I hope that should take you straight to this live on YouTube. So if you want to get your okay, I got a couple popped up there. People already done took action. Let's see what we got. Real, my two boys. What's good? So real, I don't know if that's my guy Real. Kenyell. We'll come back as we get more questions. So Mike, what professional name the professional places that you played, and do you have a favorite country? And you can obviously start with your NBA journey.
okay, well, shoot, what people don't know, I played for, so I was the number one overall pick for the CBA. It was still going on at the time. I chose it. My agent advised me, do that instead of going to G League. So I got picked by the Albany Patroons,
Uh-huh.
number one overall. Hindsight going back, I just would have went G League. I mean, well, D League at the time. But
Uh-huh.
so I went there. I went there for I had a trial in Germany. Decided not to take the job offer there.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Came back, ended up playing in the CBA for about a month and a half.
Right.
In Albany, New York. Then I left there and went to Montenegro to play for Budućnost. They
Right.
were, Euro Cup team and played in the Adriatic League.
Uh-huh.
Signed a 3-year deal with them, but only played those 4 months.
Uh-huh.
Coach wanted me back. GM didn't want me back. You know how that goes in Europe.
Right.
Like they
Yeah,
weren't on
yeah.
the same page. So
Sure.
I just
Sure.
ended up not going back. And so then from there is when I went to Germany. Then I played in Belgium 2 years.
Uh-huh.
Then I played in Italy.
Right.
The next 2 years. From there is when I did my NBA stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Playing with Oklahoma City, Brooklyn in summer league, and then Oklahoma City and training camp and preseason.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then they sent me to the Blue, the D League team,
Uh-huh.
and after about a month and a half there, I was like, man, I gotta go back to getting those European checks.
Right.
So I
True.
dipped out and played in
Uh-huh.
Turkey the next 2 years. Then I went to Greece, left Greece, and went back to Italy
Uh-huh.
to finish that season where I was playing the Aries. I went back to Italy, then played in Venice the next year in
Right.
Italy, and then Astana and VTB in
Mm,
Kazakhstan after that. Then I played for Nizhny Novgorod in Russia
right.
uh, after that, and then COVID hit. So
Mm.
if COVID never hit, I'd probably still be playing right now.
So
you
so
know,
so so Mike, and because you still got game, I see you, post, you're
yeah,
still in shape. If the right opportunity were to come, let's say like after you did this year of coaching and somebody still say, hey Mike, hey, we need buckets, man, we need a veteran. Come get this bag, man. What's up?
it
Where are
depends on
you
what
at
the
mentally
bag.
now?
It depends on what the bag's worth. If it's something I feel like it's worth going to get real quick, because nothing comes quicker, obviously, than
Right,
than the money you make playing
right,
overseas. But it would definitely be tougher now because I'm kind of mentally. I love to play.
right,
Like I still get chills thinking about
right.
warming up and because I just live for that. But I think my best card or best hand to play is staying where like following my this journey now
Right.
because I can. It's more longevity now because
Hmm.
I'm definitely on the back end of playing.
Right.
I probably could get a good three, depending on where I go and what's my usage rate. You
Right.
know, I could play three at a high level, two to
Yeah.
three at a high level, and then probably another two just being the
OG guy.
utility guy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But you know, the money I can make in the transition and just setting myself and my family up and the success I can have and the impact I can have on other people would
Right.
be better suited for where I'm at now and using my playing background now that my foot's in the door of what I'm doing
Uh-huh.
now, my playing
Right.
background to excel forward in coaching it or whatever else in the basketball industry that may come. So
Right.
it'd be tempting.
Hmm.
Somebody came and hit me with like, "Yo, man, we need you to come over here. Or we got 150 for you." Yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna drop everything and go get that.
And explain that if you make, and just so for if you're watching this, if you make 150,000, that's a clean 150. So when we say,
Yeah,
oh, that's tax free money that you can make. Now, of course, you got certain things you have to pay, but it's not like how in America if you make that 150, that 150 might be really
maybe
134. Or
yeah,
you know what I
man,
mean?
something like that. Maybe 130. They gonna get about 20 racks up off you.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
but you still gotta, what a lot of young guys don't realize too that I have this conversation with all the time because I didn't know starting out is it's tax free over there, but you still have to
Mm,
pay taxes here.
right. Right.
So like even if you end up getting a foreign tax credit, make sure you got the right CPA that knows how to deal with international salaries and workers, citizens that work abroad, but
Right.
you still have to pay your
Right.
taxes here. So, but
Let's
it
make
just won't
sure.
be as much.
Right, and let's make sure on another. I like to have. I definitely want to have you on the show again once you guys are in the season. You're kind of in the swing of things, but I want to have another conversation specifically about things like that to kind of educate guys on the process of that, understanding
Yeah.
the do's and don'ts of how to juggle your money. Let's see. So my man Jarrell says, I saw Mike sign the Queen so far. How is it going? How is it being on the other side of the ball? When I first got in, I got in college coaching. It was tough learning, but you definitely will catch on. So this is Jarrell Chavez. He's from
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
Jarrell,
Yeah,
yeah. So
we go back. He played at he's from Raleigh, Durham area.
right,
You played
good
against
guy,
him,
great
played
guy.
against him. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. It's funny seeing his question because he said I saw Mike signing. We still talk like we
hmm.
we get basketball contracts. I saw,
Hey, and then his next comment was my best card hand to play. I like that answer. So basically saying you choosing to kind of lean more towards the coaching side makes more sense, and it's a great answer. So I guess to answer his question, how are you enjoying? I know this is
Yeah,
new to you, but how are you enjoying it so far?
it's cool, man. Like, it's funny, man, because I ran
Yeah,
away from coaching for a long time. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like, I just being a player for so long, you know this, and playing high level, just you just see how even though we're all professionals,
right.
everybody doesn't have the same focus. Everybody,
Mm,
some guys really can just wake up and and be an asset.
right.
Now after basketball, it hurts them because they don't have the proper discipline.
Mm,
When they want to transition, but it's like guys, coaches spend hours, scouting and making those scouting reports, and then guys just leave them all over the place. Some people don't even read them. Like I've been guilty of that sometimes. So I'm just like, man, I don't need that scouting report. Like I played against this
right.
person, but now being on the other side is just like, man, like let me at least. He spent his time making this. Let me at least read it and know,
Yeah,
going to the game as prepared as possible.
for sure.
They're taking their time away from their families and staying up late to watch all this film and really, have you prepared for the
Right,
game. So I ran away from it for a while because I just didn't want to deal with that. But then
right.
after a while, I just felt like I was running away from a calling, you know,
Yeah, and you're
and now,
natural. Just from being around you and then seeing how you post, you have that natural leadership anyway. I
yeah,
think it's a coach. It's coach like you're not only a coach, you're kind of like a psych. You got to be a psychiatrist to kind of talk to this guy this way, but I can be rough on this guy because he's got
yeah,
a
exactly.
So I explain that to my players all the time. Whether you're a coach or whether you're a leader within the team, you got to know what guys you can be this firm with because you can be
Exactly.
firm with this guy, then he's gonna rebuttal. Or if you talk to him this way, then he's gonna be off of his game. But you talking to this other guy in a more aggressive way, that may bring the real dog out of
Shut
him
them
that we
down.
need.
Yeah.
What I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I get now let's go on to this next one. Thanks for that question, Real. And I appreciate you watching,
Appreciate,
my brother.
appreciate you,
Um,
Rep.
let's go right here. We says, how often should my 8-year-old son train per week? And what skill set would you say he should focus on more at his current age? Great question, Zafavius.
I would say if he should train, honestly, he should do something every day, but it shouldn't be considered training.
Right,
He's only 8.
right,
So let him naturally go out there and, play basketball.
right.
Kind of you can have a certain focus. Like if you leave say for instance, you leave the tools out. Say you leave a tennis ball and 2 basketballs out there.
Mm-hmm.
Let him go out there and mess with it.
Figure it
You
out.
know, yeah, and
Uh-huh.
instead of and guide him a little bit, but don't like, hey, let's get 100 2 ball pounds. This is and that. You know,
Right,
every because you may cause a burnout, like, or you want them to enjoy it first. Let them fall in love with the process of just enjoying the game.
right, right,
Because if they enjoy it, then they're going to naturally want to continue to get better, and then they're going to want to elevate themselves. But so before I go off on a tangent, but every day, like,
right,
but I am a big component of playing multiple sports.
right.
So
Okay,
because I feel like that makes better athletes.
absolutely.
Like if you can play multiple sports, and that helps with burnout as well. But there's nothing wrong with dabbling with basketball every day, or playing basketball and then another sport in the same day. Like, just it doesn't take an hour. 15 minutes, 20 minutes of them picking up a basketball is going to keep you, naturally, engaged with it.
Right.
And so I would say for skill set at 8 years old, I would say proper shooting form.
Mm-hmm.
Try to eliminate your child dipping, and honestly, don't let him shoot threes if he's not ready. If he's
Right.
not
So
strong enough to
when you
shoot the
say dipping, you
basketball.
mean when you're referring to
So
dipping, you mean having good ball placement and then not
yeah,
dropping the ball too low. Right. Okay. Good.
exactly. Pocket
Good.
pocket to release point.
Uh-huh.
Uh, don't let them swing around to hoist it.
Right.
Make sure the ball's getting the proper rotation coming off these 2 fingers.
Right.
Little details like that. ball handling, basic ball handling. There's 3 basic dribbles. You got your crossover, you're between the legs, and you're
Right.
behind the back. Mastering that, like,
Uh,
and then as you get older, letting them play around, you know, with doing advanced stuff like they see in the NBA. But let me read the question again. I would say with skill set, yeah, shooting form, proper shooting form, and your handle and your footwork, shooting footwork.
right.
Like
Right.
those are from an offensive standpoint, you know, because most honestly, from a defensive standpoint, kids just aren't going to be that great defensively unless they're just more athletic than the other kid at that age.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because their bodies just aren't going to be able to move in the right way and
Laterally.
play. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it
Yeah.
just so the kids you see playing good defense at that age, honestly, is one because lack of skill from the other 8-year-olds,
Right.
and two, they're just probably a better overall athlete
At
naturally.
that
You
point.
know,
Right.
so yeah, so shooting form, uh, you know, it's all acronym beef: bounce, eyes, elbow, follow through. Uh, don't let them come from here. You know,
Right. Man.
pocket to
Mike,
release point.
and listen, and Zafavius, just and thanks for your question too, man. We're glad that we could answer it. But talking about that shot pocket, having the ball here and using your legs for power is called a jump shot. So in order to jump, you got to bend. But when I
Yeah,
bend, I want to have my balls, sit in a shot. Maybe me, you, and Amo can get on here and talk about that one day.
yeah,
About that ball
yeah,
placement because it helps with shot speed as well. But we'll
yep,
elaborate more on that moving forward. Zafavius, I hope that answered your question, man. Thanks for asking the question. That
yeah.
I love
Appreciate
that
you, bro.
those live questions. So now, Mike, before I move on from this, what was your favorite country that you say?
I loved Italy. Italy
Italy.
was, yeah, Italy was. I played there the most. I played there 4 different times.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I just love their passion for the game.
Right.
The food is good. Um, like it's just overall a good place to be. From a the competition was good too. But those
Right.
2 years I was in Turkey is a close second. Excuse me,
Mm.
because I was there with their budget was so high in Turkey at the
Right. So
time.
they got former NBA guys. Right?
So it was OD. Like
Mm.
everybody that was somebody was in the league, man, or coming to the league and 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 playing at a high level. And even the worst team in the league, you couldn't sleep because they
Right.
had, you know, like Matt Walsh and Jerome Randall
Mm.
and and this is like, so they're maybe like 2-10 because of their coaching.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you catch them if you go in there thinking you're going to the last place team or something, when you're in
Right.
Turkey, you're gonna get smoked because those guys, everybody on their team, every import pretty much on every team there was capable of giving you between 15 to 35.
Easy. Easy.
Like
Easy.
it's like so
Easy.
it was
Trust me. I definitely
yeah.
understand.
So
Um, when and I won't keep you too long. I appreciate everybody who stuck around. Mike, when you guys, and I know you're I guess considered basketball out, and you can recruit. Which means you can
yeah.
recruit sometime. You can be on the floor sometime, on the bench. What type of players is Queens University of Charlotte looking for when you recruit?
Honestly, like first and foremost, you tough guys, like guys that aren't afraid, you know, to be gritty
Mm,
and, you know, tap the glass, play hard defensively,
right.
willing to pick up 94 feet. Uh, just have a strong mental, you know, makeup, and that's one thing. Two, obviously, scoring's not everything, but you know, guys that can, you know, like, shoot the ball,
Right.
shoot the ball pretty well, because our style, our head coach style is, you know, want to be able to hit the open threes.
Mm,
You know, want to create uh short paint twos or paint twos
mm,
and wide open threes with ball movement and spacing. You know,
right.
so
So when you
so you
say
gotta be
short
able to
paint,
guard. Yeah,
right, got
yeah,
to be able
in
to
the
guard.
paint. Two
Yeah,
two feet 2 feet in the paint. He
two
wants
feet
two
in the
feet in the
paint.
paint.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
2 feet in the paint. And obviously, if you're on if you're on the 45 and on that quarter of 45 to baseline,
Mm-hmm.
there is no paint, but you kind
Right.
of get the gist of
Around the
where
block.
area you should be. Yeah, you should
Right.
be creating getting, because all all about the best percentage shot and which areas can give you the most points per possession.
Fair
You know,
enough.
so
With
but yeah, like
recruitment, as far as with recruitment, it kind of leading to what you were saying. If I'm looking for a player like that, now if I'm watching a game, what makes the kid stand out? What is it? uh, You know, whether it's for Queens or you going
yeah,
out to recruit, what's going to be that it factor that stands out?
like for me, and like I said, I'm always say this because we played at such a high level, and like for me, I automatically just look at how you move.
Right.
Like I honestly, obviously making shots matter, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
but I know that you can have days I can come watch you play or I can see you play and
Uh-huh.
you may not make many shots.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if the way you're getting your shots seems like it's a natural thing and you're used to doing that, I can be
Right.
like, oh, okay. Or I can watch your warm ups, how you're moving, and just
Right.
like, oh, this guy can play. He has good hips. He has a solid
Hey,
foundation. He
Mike.
has good
So
footwork.
wait. So wait, warm ups matter?
Oh, most definitely.
What in the world? I can't believe. You know how many times I have to tell kids that, hey man, look like you're a basketball player in warm up. You can be, and listen, you can still be cool while doing this, but I'm training to go dominate. So I want to work on
Yeah,
my game like shots, and I can still have my swagger, but do it within the element, like Coach said. Somebody, if I'm watching you, I can see you be off, but are you jumping and landing and holding your follow through to show that you have fluid mechanics? All right, sorry to
yeah.
interrupt, Coach, but that I have to
Now,
emphasize that because I think for these young guys that are trying to get recruited, that these are things that they need to hear.
yeah, and it also shows a level of focus. Like, what's
Right,
your focus like going into the game? Like, are
right,
you thinking this is about to be an easy win? This is,
right,
this is warm ups. I'm just ready for the game. And so granted, it's different strokes for different folks. Everybody, some people can turn it off and on
right.
like that. You know what I'm saying? But
Kevin Porter Jr., Allen Iverson,
yeah,
maybe
like
James Harden. Kind of, he's in that boat where those guys are. Where I know Harden works on his game during the season, but I've heard stories where KPG, Kevin Porter is just like one of those guys that can just show up and hadn't hooped all summer and score
yeah,
50.
yeah,
I'm not
man.
one of those
Like
guys. I have to work on my craft.
yeah, like I just don't feel. I just don't feel comfortable. Like Nipsey has a line. I can't think of the song right now, like the name of the song right now, but it's basically in the I'm paraphrasing, but he doesn't feel comfortable until he dots his T's and crosses his eyes. I mean,
Right. Oh, I
yeah,
know what you're talking
dots his
about. Yeah.
eyes and crosses his T's. Yeah, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like it's just I want to make sure, like that's why I make sure I do my band work. I create a routine when I gotta make sure I'm feeling good. Like I gotta be locked in, and nothing feels worse than, even though we've all had games where we're not hitting nothing in warm-ups and then we go off during the game, but you still feel uneasy
Right.
if your shot not falling in warm-ups. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you want to
So
see it go in. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
it's just,
Yeah.
but when it comes to recruiting, man, because a lot of times, man, it just, especially when you're dealing with young kids in high school, and if you're recruiting them, they're pretty good. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, I was talking to somebody about this. It's only about 30% of the teams you play in high school, and your team, honestly, unless you're at one of those prep schools or something, that are actually good enough at basketball. Like,
Right. Right.
so you dominate when you're better than the rest. You're gonna dominate in high school because the other team probably really, if they don't got a football player that came in to defend, like, like
Right.
they're not gonna be able to do nothing with you. So
Right.
you see that, like that's one of the biggest things I see is guys jump from there. Once they get into college, they think they're just about to just turn on.
Right.
Again, like it's like no, it's a whole new process. The guys that get to school immediately and can and show out, that's not that common.
Right. Right.
Like and so
Look at
I look for
A
that. I
perfect
look for
example. An example of that is a Money Bates. Excellent player. He didn't play terrible at Memphis, but we did see confrontation between the coach, and then we also saw
Yeah.
where he had games where it was just like he just looked like another, young player out on the floor.
He decided to, go to school early instead of just taking his real true senior year. And at the end of the day, man, these guys in college, especially with COVID happening and super seniors and all that stuff, like people are older, they've been in the weight room a little longer,
Right.
and you're a draft pick off your potential.
Mm.
You're considered lottery off your potential. And there's guys like, we were those guys like when we had to play other freshmen that were supposed to be considered top, like I couldn't wait
Right.
because
I love it.
I'm like I've developed into where I am and I'm still developing, but guys don't look at you the same way because your potential seems high right now because you're younger and you're at this level. But I
Right.
had to grind it here, but we're not that far apart. So you have to
Absolutely.
show them.
Uh-huh.
And guys come into school and they feel like it should be just I was successful in high school, I'm about to be successful here. It's
Right.
like, no, buddy, everybody on your college team. All right, so I just said it's about 20-30% of your team. So if you have a team of 15, that's like three guys. Three
Right.
guys that's potentially could play college basketball, whether it's Division I, Division II, whatever. All right,
Right.
now you go to college where everybody on your team outside of the walk-ons were guys that were in that top percent, and
Right.
now they're there. And then once you go pro, you narrow it down even more. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like you keep having to elevate yourself. So it doesn't always translate if you don't put the work in. It can, but you gotta be able to put the work in. So so I look at people's character when I'm recruiting them. I try to get as much as I can because you can't get everything, but I
Right.
try to see
Right.
how they interact with their coaches when they get subbed out, how they
Right.
respond when they're not shooting well. Like, is that affecting their defense or their intensity? Like, I look at all that stuff,
Right.
when I'm out there looking at kids.
Absolutely. Makes sense. Does the transfer portal make recruiting different in the sense
Oh,
of, like there were, and I'm gonna pull that up one day. The numbers were crazy at the seniors that didn't end up going to a school that transferred, juniors, sophomores. They had a whole layout of like the different classes within college that transferred and didn't have a school to go to. But even that's a problem amongst itself. But as far as the kids that are trying to enter college from high school,
yeah,
how does that hinder their chances at being seen? Because if I can get an experienced player from a different school, I'll take that over a new high school kid that I got to mold, like you said, into that
yeah,
college
yeah.
player.
So it's a gift and a curse, right? Like, because you're rolling the dice because the pressure to win and be successful, excuse me, is high in this industry, obviously. Um, so the portal definitely hurts high school kids because guys don't want to have to, like, a lot of coaches don't want to have to deal with, you know, the development phase of a freshman and
Right.
the bumps and bruises. They'd rather go in the portal, grab you know, a fourth year junior,
Right.
or you know what I'm saying, or
Right.
and all that stuff because the person has the experience and everything already. But
Mhm.
I will say that the downside to that is, you know, you may end up bringing somebody in that chemistry just doesn't work. Like, you bring in five transfer portal people and expect to make something shake. And honestly, you had, like, I think Baylor, had a couple transfer guys when they won the national championship about 2 years ago. But for the most part, the most successful people like Villanova, places like that, they mold their guys. Guys build chemistry. They
Right.
learn how to win with each other and lose with each other. Obviously there's some turnover here and there, but mass turnover isn't really a recipe for success because
Mm.
you still it's just like when we go to Europe And for the most part, is maybe the imports are the only people that are new.
Right.
The domestic guys have been together for a while, so it's a good balance. And obviously, we're pros, so we know how to establish chemistry. We've been through all that. But when you're in college, it's a lot different. Like
Right.
you don't know what type of personality you're really bringing in
Right.
from the portal. You're just trying to win.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So it definitely hurts the high school kids, but it also can hurt college coaches as well because you can mess around and grab the wrong type of people out the portal.
Right.
And now you're in an even worse spot than what you were before
Absolutely.
because you
And,
got a bunch of bad character guys on your team.
right. And then I think you have to think about that as well. Like what you're saying, we're as a pro, when you're getting a shuffle of new players, and new chemistry, it can be difficult because if you look at the greatness of LeBron, like they've won a championship, but then they've also had some difficulties out there with when they brought Russell Westbrook in. He's a great player, but then he's trying to find himself mentally, which that hurt them. But this year they could have a total new outlook on things because they've had some time to grow mentally, learn each other, learn styles of play. But I think
Yeah.
from a college kid transferring, like you said, don't look at some kids it doesn't work out with the coach, but some are just like this is an option, and they're looking to try to find a better situation. And for
Mm-hmm.
most college kids going to college, well, I need to find a better path to get to the league. This team isn't going to
Yep.
do it, and they're making that decision in 1 year. Then they're bringing that same energy to your school. Whereas now you have some kids in the portal that may be great kids, and they understand that this is even if you want to get to the league, you need the right team concept. But bringing in that new energy, and then you're recruiting, and then you got kids that are there. It's a lot of personality mixes that could be bad, but in some cases could be good. But I think the right formula is like you're saying, being able to recruit kids that are going to be hungry, coming in and look to establish themselves instead of that older kid that's already kind of on his path, looking more to the league. Like he's already looking out of school instead of like let's
Yeah.
stay here and build his championship. Let's see what Real says. He hates it. He's tired of the transfer portal. He says it hurts high school kids and JUCO kids. And then he says that one thing I learned from the portal this year is that players in the portal trying to come to a program to be that guy. They're leaving for a reason, but they think they're gonna come in being that guy. It's not gonna happen. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
unless you're that
Because
special guy, like in Money Bates going to where to go, Eastern Michigan.
you going to Eastern Michigan.
Him going there, and I mean I'm not doubting their recruitment, but his level, his ceiling is high. He's a six
Yeah.
eight guy that can play. So him going there may be beneficial to him for like style of play. They may look to revolve things around him a little bit more because he does have a high ceiling. And yeah, Real, to your point, that's a great point. I think that was kind of what I was hitting on. Guys want to transfer, they want to come in so they can average a 20 and get to the league. So,
It just
you
ain't.
know,
But you gotta understand, like unless somebody, like, say for instance, a kid wants to transfer into a school where a guy that was there, like a high major transfers to a mid major, and the returning leader scorer and maybe first team all conference guy is coming back on
right,
the team that this high major guy is transferring to. It's just like you would hope they can, he can find his place and know that this guy has already been successful here.
right,
You know what I'm saying? He's loved here. He's created a legacy for himself at this institution.
right,
You could come in and contribute, but you're not going to be the guy. Like if
right,
you have that mindset, then it can work. But guys thinking they're about to leave, like about to leave Carolina and go to someplace else where you only average maybe 4 minutes a game at Carolina. No, because
right.
guys at the mid-major level can play too.
Yes, yes. It's D1 basketball,
So
man.
yeah,
It's D1
you're
basketball.
not about to just come in there and take anybody with some pride. You're not coming in there and
And
just
they sizing you up. Hey man, you come in. I used to be like this with recruits. My personality, I can talk to anybody and I get along with everybody.
yeah
We gonna go out there Friday night. They're gonna drink a little, they might have a little fun or whatever. I don't. But then that Saturday morning, I'm not I'm gonna go out. I ain't partying too hard because that next morning
yeah
we going at it. You
exactly
6'2" like me. You oh yeah, you average 25, 26. damn, that sound like they recruit me. So as soon as you
Yeah,
sign that dotted line, not only do I got to compete with these killers that are on the team, I got to recruit. I got to go against the next guy that's
exactly,
coming in that look just like me. So
exactly.
you know, it especially now it's even more intense with this transfer portal. I got a guy that went to UNC. He's coming to Winthrop. Now I might feel like he think he better than me because he was at, you know what I mean? Like I don't know
Yeah,
what my emotions will be at. You know what I'm saying? Like
I ain't take it easy on nobody. Like
right, you gonna go at him, Mike?
we had a standard that went. Man, my coach Marshall used to every time a guard came in, especially my freshman and sophomore year.
Right.
You know, when there were my rougher years, but he'd be like,
Uh-huh.
"We're bringing in two guard. He's coming to take your spot." Da, da,
Oh,
da. He
your
would
coach
say
would say
that
that?
stuff. Yeah, he would say that. You know, and I
Right.
think he was trying to push my button. So every time we had a visit, I destroy whoever was coming for a visit. I destroy him.
Right.
And you know, one time we had somebody. They either find out that they're not good enough. The
Uh-huh.
coaches be like, "Oh, we're gonna pull that offer, or we're not even gonna offer him. He's not good enough." Or for some, they had a kid. I was like my senior year. I remember a guy came in on a visit and we played, and I torched him again.
Mhm.
But it made him want to come to the school because he saw the development. Like he
Right.
knew my story. They told him my story, saw where I was, and I was like, "Well, yeah, this is a championship program. You come here." But that was in the developing era. Like people
Right.
don't want to take the time to develop,
Mm.
and it's all the same. So the coaches have to adjust because one, you know, I'm all for obviously being a player, you know, former player and stuff. Like I'm all for player empowerment, players being able to move. But what I'm not for is people that run away from, you know, building a legacy. Like it's like the idea of building a legacy somewhere is just unheard of. You got kids switching high schools every year. Got you know guys going to college, switching colleges every year.
Now,
I'm like,
Mike.
who wants to build a legacy where you are? Like nobody. They just want to keep taking off and taking off
So
and
so
taking off.
listen,
So
so look, you know who I got to blame your number two pick then, bro. I got to blame your number two pick, Mike. You know who that is? I got to
you
blame
talking
LeBron
LeBron?
James. I got to blame LeBron. Well, I don't want to say blame, but he led the spirit. Now in the league, that's a different conversation. I support it
Yeah,
wholeheartedly because you know Charles Barkley on the TNT show, they give him a hard time. Why? Because he was an excellent player, super dominant, but
yeah,
he had no hardware. So they joke about it, and so now we can say that, oh well, should we run or should we? But LeBron is a great. You just told me LeBron was the second best behind MJ, and I don't disagree. But he's the one who spearheaded this. Like, well, if I don't like it, I'm gonna leave because I'm the best player in the world. And I look at that's where, like you said, with the mindset, that's the only thing that's the only reason why I would put Kobe before too. That's a different conversation, but I think that's kind of like that lead where, well, if it didn't work out, LeBron did it. He's the greatest, and I think it kind of made that more of a way for guys to kind of be able to decide on, well, I could go somewhere else, but my talent is worthy of this style of player, this
yeah,
championship, and like it's not about it hasn't been that mindset that we had where we're gonna build, we're gonna work, and we understand that. Well, my freshman year, excuse me, I might get minutes, but my sophomore year is where I might have my explosive year. We understood that
yeah,
we didn't expect to come in our freshman year and every ball is gonna run through me, and I don't care about the seniors is
yeah,
there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, it's a different era. I will say though, like I'll say this: the from a pro standpoint, it's just so different because they got
right, right,
there's so much money involved. You got contracts for agent coaches leave all the time.
uh-huh,
Like once LeBron he stayed a long time in Cleveland. It was his free
fair,
agency. You know what
fair,
I'm saying? Like
fair,
so, yeah, fans want him to stay. Like
right,
NBA dollars want him to stay, but he had the choice. He did 7 years, I believe, in Cleveland before he decided to go to Miami and made it to a finals. You know what I'm saying? So
right, right,
I
right.
think that
Fair
was
enough.
more of you got so many other factors when it comes to pro sports, but is the organization doing what you want them, what you need to
Right.
get me over the hump? You know what I'm saying? From a college standpoint, like I don't want people to get me misconstrued and think that stay regardless. Because sometimes it's best for you to leave. Like
Right.
sometimes it's best for you to transfer because the situation just isn't good for you. The coach isn't right for you, or you might not be right for the coach. But it's the ones that, like you just said, like you think you're about to come in and you're going to average 12 points as a freshman or play 25 minutes a game, and because you played, you averaged 8 points as a freshman and played 15 minutes a game, you want to leave.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
That's
yo,
it.
dude, like, like where are you going? Like,
Right.
that's really good as a freshman.
Right.
If you were potential lottery or whatever first round as a freshman, averaging 8 points in 15 minutes is still gonna get you looks if you're on the right team.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Sure.
people already got in their mind that you have the potential to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just more like it's because I can't say in this era after my junior year when we were top 25
Mm-hmm.
and if we had like the ability to hit a portal, especially once Coach Marshall left to go to Wichita State, he left. Hell, I'm gonna jump in the portal.
Right.
Like
Right. You know,
if they, I'm about to max out. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like I'm about to max out on lead a score on a top 25 team that beat Notre Dame in the tournament
Right.
and lost to Oregon before going to get to the Sweet 16. Oh no,
Mm.
I thought about putting my name in the test the draft waters just off of that alone. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like
Uh-huh.
I knew I was gonna come back to school, but I thought of doing that just so I could get my name more buzz because we didn't have this social media allure,
Right.
around us like everybody like there is today.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand both sides. I just want people to kind of know the difference between making a business decision
Right.
and running from the grind because
Real.
you're disgruntled.
Right.
You know what I'm
That makes
saying?
sense.
Like,
For sure.
you know, that's
That's a
that's
fair
that's my
assessment.
only thing.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment, Coach. Um, Goals for Queens University of Charlotte. What are the goals this year? I know you're new getting in the mix. I know things about to
Yeah.
pick up here in a few weeks. But with talking with your head coach and the staff, what's gonna be the goals for this year?
Just to honestly, man, win games because people have us. They got us picked 14th. Like I saw some one publication has picked 14th to finish last in the conference because we just transitioned to D1 with the
Right.
Atlantic Sun. So obviously a new school with a
Now
lot
that
of
I did
D2
not know
success.
that, Mike. I did not know. I did not know that this is you guys' first year playing D1.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay. Oh,
they transitioned to the A Sun. We'll play. If I'm not mistaken, I think Rail and Austin P. They're in our conference. So
hey, real, we
so
coming
I'll
at
get
you,
to see.
baby. Oh no,
So
he
I'll get to
real
see
got a
them.
new job.
Oh,
Real is
did
not at
he?
Austin. Yeah, man, real. If you still watching this, comment and tell me where you at, bro. I forgot he definitely signed with another team. This may have been like last week where I saw him make a post. Let me see.
I ain't see it. I ain't come across my feed.
Oh yeah, he said he just said, dang, I would have been coaching against Mike if I would have stayed. Yeah,
Yes.
he's at another spot though.
Okay,
Yeah,
bet.
real. If you're watching this, man, we would love to. And I'll look at his Facebook after. But yeah, that's dope. Okay. Oh, I
Yeah.
just took.
So
He said I just took a top assistant job at Young
yeah.
Harris.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, that's in the league that Queens just
Congrats,
left.
real. That's in the league.
So
What now?
Queens just left the SAC. I believe they're in the SAC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the South Atlantic Conference Division 2.
Uh-huh.
Like they Queens just left that conference to go to the A Sun. Oh,
Got
they
you.
put it in the Peach Belt. Oh, they're in the Peach Belt. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so I
Got you.
felt like they were in the SAC at some point, but yeah. So that's dope, man. I've seen that school play before a couple years ago.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, man, that's the move up. That's the move up for definitely step up for real. Congrats. But yeah,
And how
man, just win games and make some noise, man, because I think we'll be better than what a lot of people think. because we have some really tough guys. But obviously, man, that's just the like our coach says, just get 1% better every day, and and we're going to be prepared. We're going to defend, and we're going to let the chips fall where they may. But definitely goal is there's no pity, no moral victories. The goal is to win games.
Right. Absolutely. And this is now I think this is this is the schedule this year. Let's see.
I don't think our basketball schedule is up yet. We might have the conference one up. Yeah,
Oh,
baseball.
2023. Oh, that's baseball. Let me see. I mean, maybe it'll still have. Okay, 2022, 23.
Yeah, so they got the conference schedule up there. I'm not sure they got the non-conference schedule up yet.
Okay, Austin Peay, Eastern Kentucky, Kennesaw State. Okay,
Yeah, we come
Coach Persian
there.
Williams. Okay,
Yeah, we come there. I think in February.
and I see y'all play at in UNC. Wait, so hold up. So hold up. Wait, and this is a little bit. That arena is that's a. Am I reading that right? That's a Curry Arena. Now is that referring to who
It's
I
a
think?
nah. It must have been another Steph and them ain't have nothing to do with this.
Got you.
I
Okay.
believe, but it's just it's in the Levine Center on campus, and it's called Curry Arena in there. I really don't know why it's called Curry Arena.
Right.
I should ask, but uh, but yeah, that's just our home gym, but it has nothing to do with the uh
Hey, I'm in.
that I know of the Dell, Steph, or Seth, or any of them.
Hey, I want to be. I definitely want to be in the building here in Kennesaw State for sure. So I'm gonna need some tickets, Coach.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna need a
yeah.
ticket.
I got you.
Liberty, and then I know Persian too. I want to get Persian and the head coach on, and we're gonna have to get him on. Persian was our grad assistant at that Tech at Georgia Tech.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had some great coaches, man. Um I've had Coach Cliff
So
Warren on the show. I've
y'all had
had
Charlton Young too, right?
Coach Charlton Young was like
Yeah,
Coach Warren recruited me to Tech, and then Coach Charlton Young was like kind of like my guy, like my personal coach. He was a shooter also, so
yeah,
he understood my views and my growing pains. And me and Coach Hugh was bumping heads. He's like, "Look, man, come on, you got to,
yeah,
you always got that one
yeah,
coach,
yeah.
yeah." And I know you talked about it already, but the style of play for you guys is definitely going to be getting up and down, being able to knock the threes down, like you said, inside out threes, inside out threes and deep twos. I remember
Yeah,
you hitting on
yeah.
that. Okay,
And
and then
defending
and
94
defending,
feet.
right, and being able to defend.
Yep.
Okay, and last
Real
question,
tough
Mike.
guy.
Um, will the NIL name, image, and likeness deals have an impact on your recruitment as well? So I know we got the transfer portal, but is this something else that's going to be effective for what type of guys you're able to draw in?
Well, I think, being in a location like Charlotte,
Right,
and we're in pretty much close to Uptown. We're in the South Park area. We're in a prime location in Charlotte. That right there is a good starting point for
right,
recruiting, but NIL is going to affect all of college basketball, whatever, eventually.
right.
So that's definitely the task. For mid majors and stuff, it's a little harder, obviously, to try to figure that stuff out
Mm,
because with a university like just going Division 1, like we are we just did you have your boosters, but you gotta try to find more
mm,
and try to make more connections, and but coaches can't have anything to do with the NIL process. So
mm.
like guys got to figure out how to kind of get those deals on their own.
So market,
They can hire an agent for it
right. So
and
but
stuff.
marketability is important as a player. So now, and this is gonna be for my young players. I don't want to get, like you said, I don't want to get off on too big of a tangent, but if I, are you guys, when I'm recruiting a guy, you're recruiting Lewis Clinch, are you going to take a look at my social media?
Oh, 1,000%.
Right.
Excuse me.
And that, yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you
one
can
thousand
talk on the
percent.
phone with somebody and they can give you this, oh, I'm a good kid, and you can talk to this person,
Yeah,
but you get to see somebody's personality on their social media. Now,
yeah,
I tell kids lack of posting is not good. Posting, like, I think young men and young women, if you're watching this, I love hip hop, I love rap. But if I'm trying to be LeBron James, I gotta be LeBron James. I gotta model myself. I can't be Lil Baby in my posts. I can
yeah,
listen to Lil Baby music, but I can't be Lil Baby in my post. So a kid's social media can affect their recruitment, is what you're telling me, Coach.
yeah. Especially early on, but like it'll if you just posting a bunch of reckless craziness, you better be,
The
five
juice.
star. Yeah, like you better be OD with it. Like, but for the most part, and there's still some people that just ain't gonna want to deal with it. It's like, man, you see what type of kid this is. Like, I'm not bringing that into something I built. You
Right.
know, this sabotage. You know, my program, or cause a cancer in my program or whatever.
Right.
And that's not saying we get that stigma too, like you know that because we like certain music or whatever, that's how we act. No, but it's so cool for kids now to want to be they're really what the music is like.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just it's
Yeah.
just it's so wild, man. I'm just like all you guys ain't everything's on gang and everything. Like all you ain't in that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like just be real.
Okay. Listen. Look. Hey, you
Like,
telling me like
uh,
you? I'm glad you saying it because I got my coach. You used to always say I need leaders on the team. My voice becomes mundane, meaning like it's just another voice that you hear, kind of going one ear out of the other. I'm glad to hear you saying it. I got a coach. I got another college coach right here that says you so right. We check Twitter and IG. He said you so right
yeah,
because the young kids they don't really mess with Facebook like that, but they're gonna
mm-hmm.
be on that IG. They're gonna be on
And
Snap
Snapchat, yeah,
and they will be on TikTok a little bit too, but I think more so IG and that Snap and Twitter, man. But
yeah.
uh yeah,
You should
man.
be building
So
a brand. Like, you should definitely be building a brand. Like, if you're not trying to build a brand through your from your name in this era, you're
right,
missing out. You know what I'm saying? But be mindful of what kind of brand you're building. Like,
right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to just I'm gonna be cool, like I'm lit all day,
right,
all night. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like it comes off as fake. And
yeah,
it's just like, man, that's more of a headache than anything. Like, everybody's too cool now, and they wanna really be the lyrics. Like,
right.
they want it's like,
This is a post. Hey, look, and if you're watching this, I'm gonna go through a few posts that I see. So I played at a run, right? And then when they realize, oh, I know college coaches, I interview coaches, I talk to coaches daily or weekly, more so to say, just about different conversations through text and all that. But these are the most of the posts that I see. I got this, and I got
yeah,
my eyes like this, or I got my hand like this with my
yeah.
hand. You know what I'm saying? This every kid that I went and looked at their stuff, they had at least one of
Oh, you
those
can't
posts.
forget this one. You can't forget this one.
Oh yeah, with the hand. Hey, listen. So
you
young,
can't
hey,
you can't forget that one.
we are man, I'm 35, man. I'm young. I love hip hop. It's the right. I'll go to a little baby concert. I'll go to all these concerts with you, man. But you gotta just know how to separate it. You don't have to be. Even most of them aren't living how they say it because it's just entertainment. It's like movies like Denzel. Denzel ain't a killer. Denzel isn't this uh James Bond type of marksman. It's entertainment. Take it for what it is.
Yeah.
Some of the music you can relate to because you've experienced some of it, but come on, man, everybody ain't a goon, man. Come on,
Everybody
be a
ain't
ball player,
everybody ain't
be a
living
ball
like
player,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
be
but
a ball
everybody ain't
player.
living like that. And if the people that are really living shit they saying, oh excuse me, the stuff they
No, you
saying,
good.
like you see what's gonna happen. People coming
Right.
for you, and Ricos are around the corner.
Yeah, especially in Georgia, they on that. They on that in Georgia, as you
You
see,
know
man.
what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, hey man, like, sound good. Like, trust me, you could be cool. People gonna rock with you regardless, man. Like, you ain't.
Right.
And the older you get, the more you'll start. And it's hard for kids to realize that now. They be like, man, you talking that old stuff or whatever. I'm like, man, I ain't about to, I'm 35, 35 just like you, Lou, and be 36 next month. It's just like, no, I've lived through it. Like, I remember, you know, wearing my Visus and stuff and trying to be, Lil Wayne and T.I.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and, and,
absolutely.
and, and all that stuff. But I always knew the music was the music, and it was only so far I was going to take that. Like, you know what I'm
Right,
saying? It's just like,
right.
because I'm no, I'm not really living like that. I want to hoop,
Yeah,
like, like I want to
yeah,
hoop, and it's just like you gotta align your goals with with your disciplines and your daily actions. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
And it's just, and the older you get, you start to realize how silly some of the stuff is.
Yeah,
You try to prevent that in younger kids now. Like, I try to tell them, like, hey man, you don't see it. It may look like I'm just being like, I'm kind of knocking what you own, but I'm not. I'm letting you know, like, in 5 years, none of this is even gonna matter to you.
yeah, for sure.
Like, it's not gonna matter. You know what I'm saying? Or you're gonna be looking
Sure.
back like, man, I should have took this a little more serious. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or, so
Well, Mike, I kept you way longer than I anticipated. We're at 1 hour and 26 minutes, but we had some technical difficulties. But I think just with natural basketball heads, this tends to happen because
oh yeah,
our
for sure.
we got so many levels of things that we could talk about. We have experience from player side, and then now I've been doing player development now for 7 years, and I've coached. I have travel programs, and I help out with other travel programs. So it's a true passion of mine talking the game and teaching the game as well, man. So I
Yeah,
absolutely appreciate you coming on and taking the time to share some knowledge. I'm definitely going to have you on again in a couple of months once you guys are kind of in the mix and
yeah,
going and getting going, man. And then we'll have times where we get on here. And Real, I know, I don't know if you're still on, Real, but I know Real was talking about he wishes that more people could be on. Man, Real, I can have up to 10 in the studio at one time. So we'll do that. We'll do like a panel where we're talking more about how to be a scorer. I will just kind of really hone in on things so we can help out these young men and on their mindset, because there's a physical side of this game that you got to work out, you got to do this, you got to do that, but this is where the real game is, because as a man thinketh, so he is, man. So you got to see yourself as a dominant player in the process of preparing, man. So I like to finish off with a quote. If you really look closely, most overnight successes take a long time. That's by Steve Jobs. Most of us have iPhones and you know all of these Apple products, and I think just that relates to this basketball journey and that overnight success, those scholarships, uh, that recruitment, the dominant games, all of that starts, every day when you get up, and it depends. I know
mm-hmm.
you have your schooling and all that, but if you note back earlier in the interview when we had I had someone ask, "What does my 8-year-old son need to do?" But one thing that I remember Coach saying is, "Well, I mean, if he can do something every day, that'll be great. Absolutely, mix in other sports, but if he can do 20 minutes, 30 minutes of some type of development." That's gonna, help his or her journey in the development process, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. um, Mike, I'm definitely going to have you on again. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, sharing your journey, your basketball journey, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you, man. And to everyone that watched and commented, thank you so much. That's my second time having people comment here in my 12 episode journey. I have Coach Corey McCray coming on Tuesday 9 p.m. August 16th. So we'll have another D1 coach on here. He's at the University of Florida. I don't know if you're familiar with Coach McCray. He's from Atlanta, but his name is
That
Corey
sounds
McCray.
familiar.
Yeah, but and like another comment I'll put up here before we log off. Rail said that networking is key in this coaching. So I'll
Yeah,
definitely, when I interview him, I'll remind you about the show. But I want to just make sure I try to connect you coaches as well, because I know this is you're a phone conversation away from your next
Yeah.
opportunity, and obviously
Facts.
you want to
Yeah.
definitely bask in this moment that you're in now, but your head coach can get another job next year. You know what I mean? You know how it goes.
Yeah.
So we'll connect them,
Facts.
Brady. Yeah, we'll connect these bridges, man. Thank you guys for watching, man. Creative Athlete, episode 12, signing out.